Hi everyone, this is the first lecture on higher order linear differential equations. Of course, the topic is finding complementary function. So before going to know about a complementary function, let me first introduce how a linear differential equation of higher order will look. See, a general expression of writing higher order linear differential equation is in this way. So your differential equation, which is of the form nth derivative of y with respect to x plus a function a1 of x into y n minus 1th derivative of x plus a2 of x into n minus 2nd derivative of y with respect to x plus and so on plus an of x into y is equals to q of x. So this is the differential equation, which is of course nth order, because nth derivative is the highest derivative. This is, I can say, higher order differential equation. But how come it is said to be linear? So this is linear. Why? Because every derivative, like nth derivative, n minus 1th derivative, n minus 2th derivative, and of course even y also, all the terms are having power 1. All the terms are linear. And of course, if you can see the coefficients also, these coefficients are purely functions in terms of x. So there are no products of y and its derivatives. So I can say this is linear differential equation. Linear. Why? Because it's the equation is having the derivatives having power 1 and the term y is also having power 1, and there are no products of y and its derivatives. So this is a linear differential equation of higher order in y. So this is general expression of writing higher order linear differential equation. See, here the coefficients are functions in terms of x. I can say this is higher order linear differential equation with variable coefficients. The coefficients are variables here. The derivatives coefficients are variables. See, suppose we need the linear differential equation with constant coefficients, higher order linear differential equation with constant coefficients, which will be solved first. So that will be in this format. Nth derivative of y plus a constant, not a function in terms of x, it's a constant, y n minus 1th derivative of in terms of x, and a2 a constant, n minus 2nd derivative of y plus and so on plus an into y is equals to q, where all these a1, a2 and so on an are constants. This is a linear higher order differential equation with constant coefficients. The coefficients of the derivatives are constants. So now throughout this unit we'll be solving this type of differential equation only. So we are looking into how to solve this type of differential equation. So before that, let me introduce a few notations which will be used throughout this topic. Notations. See, here I'm going to use the notation for this nth derivative of y as d power n y. This d power n indicates nth derivative of the function y. And if it is n minus 1th derivative of y, and the notation will be d power n minus 1 y. So this only gives n minus 1th derivative of the function y. Hope you understand that. Likewise, y dash is simply dy. So these are the notations which we are going to use while solving these higher order linear differential equations with constant coefficients. So with these notations, the equation 1, whatever we have written, whatever we are interested in, will be this is nth derivative of y, and this is n minus 1th derivative of y plus a2 n minus 1th derivative, n minus 2nd derivative of y plus and so on plus an y is equals to q of x. So with these notations, the equation has become in this way. Now, so then what happens? You can also write this as d power n a1 d power n minus 1 plus a2 d power n minus 2 and so on plus an of y. Simple. like d power n y as d power n of y is equals to q of x. So you can simply think of this, and which is a polynomial in terms of d, nth degree polynomial in terms of d. So we write that as f of d, a polynomial function d of y is equals to q of x. So this is, as usual, like this is the general expression we use for always to represent a higher order linear differential equation with constant coefficients, whereas fd is representing a polynomial in terms of d. And then how to solve this? Suppose if this is the differential equation which is given to you, how to solve this type of differential equation? That's what we need to think of. So coming to its general solution of this type of differential equation will be, like, solution means you're finding the dependent variable in terms of independent variable, like y you're finding the function y. So the general solution will be in the two parts, like yc and yp, and the sum of these two will give you general solution. So we'll learn what are these two one by one. So whereas this is called as complementary function, whereas the second part is called as particular integral. And firstly, we'll think of how to find a complementary function. So that is what for today, right? So while solving a differential equation, the solution will be of two parts, like yc and yp, and you're finding complementary function now here, like. So you're looking into the procedure first to find complementary function. It is very simple because a quite simple algebra will be used here, simple phenomena. So how do we find a complementary function? See, suppose you were given a differential equation of higher order which is linear, which will be in the form of f of d of y is equals to q of x. And while solving this, the solution will be of two parts, and the first part will be finding complementary function. So how to find the complementary function of this differential equation? So firstly, you have to find the roots of auxiliary equation. See, auxiliary equation is nothing but f of m is equals to 0. So what this f of m is? See, you're having f of d here in this differential equation, like the polynomial function in terms of d. So in using that polynomial function, you're writing an equation, like, but in terms of another variable like m. You may be using that as, or you may be using that as f, it doesn't matter. So whatever the equation is formed using this fd, that is called as auxiliary equation. So firstly, you have to find the roots of auxiliary equation. As we already know from algebra that if it is a polynomial of nth degree, there will be exactly n number of roots. So we have to find all of those n roots if it is nth degree. But those roots will be in this way. Either the roots are real and different, distinct, or it may be having real but repeated, or it may be giving complex roots as complex numbers. Any of these three cases will arise. So while finding the roots of f of m is equals to 0, either the roots may be real and distinct, or roots may be real and repeated, and or it may be complex numbers. So depending upon these roots, we can simply write the complementary function. It's a very simple phenomena. Let us see one by one how the complementary function looks whenever the roots are in these three categories. Suppose our roots are real and distinct. Suppose the roots are real and distinct. Suppose the roots of auxiliary equation are like m1, m2, and so on, mn. Suppose there are n roots which are all real numbers and also different numbers, distinct values, identical values. So if these are the n roots of auxiliary equation, then you're simply writing the complementary function yc as c1 e power m1x. c1 is an arbitrary constant. c2 e power m2x plus and so on plus cn e power mnx. So for each and every individual real number m1, m2 and so on mn, you are writing an exponential function. And this is of course having n arbitrary constants. So this is how we can write the complementary function whenever the roots all are like m1, m2 and so on mn. Just for an example, suppose your fm is equals to 0, like the auxiliary equation is having the roots 2, minus 2 and 3. Suppose this is a third degree polynomial whose roots are like 2, minus 2 and 3. Then obviously complementary function will be in this format. c1 e power 2x corresponding to the first root 2, c2 e power minus 2x corresponding to the second root, plus c3 e power 3x. Of course, this is how we can write the complementary function while the roots are like 2, minus 2 and 3 for an auxiliary equation if m is equals to 0, something like this. And let us look into the second case. The roots may be real and repeated. Case 2. Suppose your auxiliary equation f of m is equals to 0 is having the roots like m, m and so on k times. I mean, m is the repeated root. M is repeating k number of times. Then how do we write the complementary function? The complementary function yc in this case can be written as c1 plus c2x plus c3x squared plus and so on plus ck x to the power k minus 1 e power m is the root, right? So that mx. Of course, it is having c1, c2 and c3 and so on, ck, k number of arbitrary constants, because there are k roots, obviously indicating this is kth degree polynomial. So this is how we can write the complementary function when there are repeated real roots. Just for an example, suppose you are having the roots of an auxiliary equation like 3, 3, 3 and 3. I mean 3 is repeated root which is 4 times. Then your complementary function will be c1 plus c2x plus c3x square plus c4x power 3. See, there are 4 arbitrary constants have been used, which is a polynomial in terms of x. See why x has been used here? Because you are thinking that your differential equation is having the independent variable x. Suppose your independent variable in the differential equation is t, you are writing this complementary function also in terms of t. Doesn't matter. And e powered 3 is the root. Ultimately 3 is the root, so 3 times of x. Hope you understand that. This is the second case, real and repeated roots. And suppose your roots are like you're writing case 3. Suppose you're having complex roots. Suppose your auxiliary equation is f of m is equals to 0 from the differential equation, for which the roots are something like alpha plus or minus I beta, and non-repeated complex roots have been obtained for an auxiliary equation. Then according to these roots, your complementary function will be e power real part of the complex number times x into c1 cos beta x plus c2 sin beta x. See, you're using like imaginary part here in the sine and cos functions, whereas in the exponential you're using real part. So this is how we write the complementary function according to the complex roots. Since there are two roots, the two arbitrary constants have been used. You must have a look on that. It's a complete compulsory phenomenon. Suppose you are having alpha plus or minus I beta, alpha plus or minus I beta, when these complex roots are also being repeated, then how do we write the complementary function? Your complementary function yc in that case will be e powered alpha x. Of course, real part is alpha x. Since it is repeated, you are writing the constant, arbitrary constant here as c1 plus c2x. Because it is repeated 2 times. The roots are repeated 2 times. Cos beta x plus, and this arbitrary constant also some c3 plus c4x times sin beta x. This is how a complementary function looks whenever the complex roots are repeated. This is all about writing the complementary function in 3 different cases. Either of these 3 cases will arise while writing complementary function. Now let us look into a few limited number of examples while going to deal with complementary function. And most importantly, whenever your differential equation is homogeneous. Homogeneous. So what does that mean? And we have seen already that f of d of y is equals to q of x is general way of writing higher order linear differential equation with constant coefficients. But what is homogeneous here? What is homogeneous higher order linear differential equation? Which means whenever the q, when right side function is 0, this differential equation is said to be homogeneous linear higher order differential equation. I mean to say your differential equation should appear in this way. F of d of y is equal to 0. This is what your homogeneous differential equation. So what is this being discussed here? See, for this differential equation, suppose if we want to write a general solution for this homogeneous differential equation will be only yc. There will be no particular integral. Whenever there is q, I mean other than 0 some function is involved, then only the other part, particular integral yp will be involved. Otherwise, only complementary function is the general solution like y. So whenever homogeneous linear higher order differential equation is given, I mean right side function is 0, it is enough to write the complementary function which gives general solution. Right. So let us look into a few questions. And let us look into an example that solve d cube y by dx cube minus 9 d square y by dx square plus 23 dy by dx minus 15y is equal to 0. This is what the question is like. This is how the differential equation is given and you are solving it. And of course, this is homogeneous y because your right side function is 0. So firstly, let me write this as using capital D notation. This is d cube y minus 9d square y plus 23 dy minus 15y is equal to 0. And of course, this can be taken as d cube minus 9d square plus 23d minus 15 of y is equals to 0. Of course, this is nothing just by using the notation capital D. We have not yet solved. We have not used a single procedure to solve this. So this is the given differential equation. And firstly, you have to start with the auxiliary equation always. Auxiliary equation. And your auxiliary equation is f of m is equals to 0. I'm just using the notation m to write auxiliary equation. Or you may be writing or x or something like that. You can represent it with. So this is your polynomial in which you are putting m in place of d and you are writing it as an equation. It's a simple polynomial. You are writing polynomial equation now. So which becomes m cube minus 9m squared plus 23m 23m minus 15 is equals to 0. Only f of m is equals to 0. This is what my algebraic equation, third degree polynomial. Obviously, we'll be having 3 roots. So how to find the roots of this equation? As usual, most of the questions will be in terms of like real numbers, like when 1 or 2 will be compulsorily integers, so that you can use synthetic division, trial and error method. How do we use it? So we'll take the coefficients of m cube, and of course you're writing m cube coefficient, m square coefficient, m coefficient, and constant. And you are checking whether 1 is a root or not, 2 is a root or not, something like that. I'm checking whether 1 is a root or not. As usual, like 1 into 1 is 1, and it is minus 8, summation is 15 times of 1 is 15, and the summation is 0. Since it is 0, yes, of course 1 is a root of this equation. That is that we can check on, which is already familiar to you, right? And then I'm checking, like this is just a quadratic equation, like m square minus 8m plus 15 is equal to 0. For that, you may be thinking that 3 will be a root. Whether I'll check whether 3 is a root or not, which is giving minus 5, and the multiplication is minus 15 and is equals to 0. And of course, this is m coefficient and this is constant. Obviously, it will be like minus 5 as a root, because it is 1 into minus 5 is, sorry, 5 will be a root. So these 3 are the roots of this auxiliary equation. So the values of m I have obtained like 1, 3, 5. So there are real and distinct roots have come. So accordingly, you can write the complementary function yc for this example as c1 e power the first root 1x. See, why I'm writing in terms of x? Why? Because your differential equation is having independent variable x. If not, I'll be using another variable correspondingly. So c2 e power 3x plus c3 e power 5x. That's it. This is how we can write the complementary function according to these roots. And as we know already, the general solution of this differential equation will be y is equals to only yc. Or you may be writing that as y is equals to c1 e power x plus c2 e power 3x plus c3 e power 5x. That's it. This is the general solution of this homogeneous linear higher order, third order differential equation. Whereas the roots here real and distinct. Now let us look into another question. Let us say d cube y by dx cube minus 3 dy by dx, sorry, plus 2y is equal to 0. Suppose you are solving this differential equation, a simple one. Again, I'm using this special notation like capital D notation, like d cube minus 3d, first derivative of y is 3d, plus 2. In all these, you can write y as out of y is equal to 0. Or you may be writing this as a polynomial of third degree of y is equal to 0. Of course, this is homogeneous. Why? Because right side is 0. Your complementary function only will give you general solution. No need to find out the particular integral here in this case. Of course, we know we did not discuss about particular integral also, but here it is not required. Now let us start with as usual auxiliary equation. Auxiliary equation is, the simple notation is in terms of x, in terms of m it will be used. That is m cube minus 3m plus 2 is equals to 0. And of course this will be having the roots like 1, 1, minus 2. You can use the synthetic division otherwise. So you will be getting these 3 at the roots. And of course, you may be using the your calculator also for that. See, I'm always insisting that I'll be insisting you to write one another step in between these two. Before writing the roots, you may be writing the factorization for this. Always it will be recommended. It will be used because 1 is the root 2 times. M minus 1 whole square will be a factor of this polynomial. And of course, minus 2 is a root, so that m plus 2 will be another factor for this. Firstly, write this and then write 1, 1 minus 2, even if you are using standard division. This step is a mandatory. You keep on writing that step. That will be used. Now, so depending upon these two repeated roots, we'll write the complementary function as c1 plus c2x, because it is only repeated 2 times. And what is the root? 1 is the root. So 1 time of x. And according to this another real root minus 2, you are using the other arbitrary constant and exponential minus 2x. That's it. That is the complementary function. And you are writing a general solution. All of the thing you are finding a solution. A general solution is y is equals to only complementary function because it is homogeneous. That is y is equals to c1 plus c2x e power x, c3 e power minus 2x. This is a repeated roots case. So we'll look into another example in which you'll be getting the complex roots. So I'll be taking an example of differential equation that a d square plus a d plus 1 of y is equal to 0. Of course, the differential equation has been asked directly in terms of notation what we have used, capital D. So let us check for the roots of this equation. I no need to mention how to find the roots, or let me introduce the formula also. Let me revise the formula, remind you the formula also. So your auxiliary equation is m squared plus m plus 1 is equal to 0. So that you are writing the roots of this equation in terms of m, for which your m will be, so since this is quadratic equation, hope you will be getting complex roots. I'm using the formula that minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Hope you are all aware of this formula. I know it right. Wherever ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is the equation. So to write x, this is the formula. It's minus b means coefficient of m, minus 1 plus or minus 1 minus 4 over 2. That will be minus 1 plus or minus, this is minus 3. So root 3i you get it, because root of minus 1 is equals to I as usual, whole over 2. Or you can spread this term. That will be giving you this by 2 and this over 2. So this is real part of this complex number, whereas this is imaginary part of this complex number. You are all familiar with that. So I need to remind again and again. See, according to these complex roots, which are in the form of alpha plus or minus I beta, your complementary function yc can be e powered real part times of x into c1 cos imaginary part times of x plus c2 sine imaginary part times of x. This is how we write the complementary function accordingly. Your complex roots. Of course, these examples will support more than enough for this session, complementary function. Thank you.